Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Okay. He who remains.
Yeah. Oh man. That was
Boom.
so fucking
Boom,
cool.
boom, boom, boom. Boom.
Oh man. Alright. That was Loki. That was just by far the best show so far, right?
Yeah.
Easily. That
Agreed.
was
Easily.
easily the best out of
That
those three
ending
shows.
pays off so well.
That was so amazing. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, that was Jonathan Majors, who was revealed back in their big stockholder like Disney thing.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige revealed that he is in fact going to be playing Kang the Conqueror. Uh, they did not say he would be in this show. They said he was going to be the villain of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So that's interesting.
Argumentatively, he could be the villain of every
That's
single
exactly what I was gonna say. They could have just said he's gonna be the villain of Quantumania, but there could just be different variants of him being villains across this entire phase. Oh my god. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as I learned that uh what's her face, as soon as I learned that that chick was Ravonna Renslayer, that's when I was like, all right, like if this isn't going to Kang, this is just gonna be another huge fucking blue ball, because she was like, sort of like his love interest slash uh they had a big story together
Mhm.
in the comics. Um she was like a princess of an alien fucking civilization that he
God.
conquered. Uh
Like Thanos.
yeah, sort of. Yeah, so I'm just so interested in how they're doing him. So in the comics, if I remember correctly, he was an alternate version of Nathaniel Richards, who would be Reed Richards' son. He was like an alternate timeline version of him, and he essentially developed like incredibly advanced time travel technology.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he was like such a fucking ridiculous genius that he was able to build up enough technology where he essentially became like this just time traveling conqueror of galaxies and timelines
Mm-hmm.
and shit. One interesting story I remember that he did was he went back to ancient Egypt and became like a pharaoh, because he wanted to gain the powers of El Saberna, what Apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah, he was involved in that. Um, yeah, he's a fairly formidable character. I remember one thing that he had. He has like a trophy room where it's just like a bunch of this fucking like a bunch of costumes and tools and weapons and stuff of all these different superheroes that he's conquered from different timelines. So he has like a bunch of Cap's shields. He has a bunch of Spider-Man suits. He has like more Iron Man suits than like Tony Stark in our timeline does, because he's just killed so many Iron Men from so many timelines. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Now here, he that had to be what he wanted, right?
Um.
Surely.
um. I would say I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually what he wanted.
It could go either way. Like that could have been like the good Kang, and he was telling the truth, and everyone else is just like fucking conquering assholes. Um, and then like once we get like further and further into this phase, we can keep looking back at this episode and be like, man, this is the one who like we actually should have had. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm so looking forward to the future because I'm like, is this going to be the most like mild tempered like
yeah.
he doesn't do shit. He's just like, I literally just trying to do the best I could do.
Yeah, it's just insane. Or it could be that was his plan. Like the thing that makes me
See,
think, yeah.
go ahead, because I want to see if you're gonna say the same
Well,
thing
the
I
thing
was
that
gonna
makes
say.
me think that it was his plan was that, like, his last moments where he's like, "See you soon," wink. That made me think like he wanted this to happen so that
My thing is how many times has this happened? Because technically, he's like, I've seen you got. Basically, I've seen my death many times from you guys. That's how he knows he
maybe
can teleport, and he only knows up until the point of his death, where that's why he's like, oh, we passed the threshold because now I figure you guys are probably just gonna kill me, but I'm gonna
yeah,
give you the option to, you know, remain, do the thing that I do. So it's
maybe
like,
you're
has this
saying
happened many
well,
times?
maybe you're saying like it could be like Mob of the Dead, where it's like the prisoners are doing like this cycle where they get up to the roof and then they all kill the
Mhm.
weasel and they go back in time and restart the loop, and it just keeps going over and over until the
Over.
weasel kills them and breaks the
R-
loop.
Right.
Sort of like that.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
But the thing
Um,
is like, but what throws that all off is why all of a sudden the timelines are diverging at this point. It's like,
because of two Lokis. Maybe before it was just one Loki showed up.
oh, okay. So that's why it's like he's like, oh well, I've tried to. Every time I try to figure out who was the right one, it
Yeah,
it, it came down to being two people.
yeah. Maybe he's just been like, this has kept happening with different variants of Lokis, but this is the first time that two of them showed up and actually ended up killing him. Maybe. Man, this is so cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So fucking cool. I'm
That's
just
crazy.
fascinated. I imagine season 2 is going to focus a lot on Loki and Sylvie and like that fallout. Um
Yeah, because you don't even know what happened to Sylvie. Because if like, yeah, like did Kanan show back up at like the place? Does he
which
come back to the
Kanan?
same? And then he just no, well, the little void
Oh,
area he's
the
in.
cat, the Citadel. Yeah,
Yeah, does he show back up and did he like kill her? Because now we have this like the Conqueror Kanan, or like we just don't know. Did she just leave after she killed him?
maybe. Uh, yeah. It's just oof. I'm. Oh man, I'm just in shell shock. I have so much that like.
So like the TVA is different now. Like
Yeah,
nobody
like
remembers anything
yeah.
and
It essentially that Nexus event just like
like
completely
everything.
rewrote the timeline. But the thing is, the TVA has always existed outside of time, so I can't imagine like our timeline gets messed up from all this. I imagine it's just like, the TVA gets rewritten when this happens. Like, that was probably something, like, built in by design. Like,
Hmm.
if this happens, then boom. Like, yeah. Which is just
But
insane.
is there multiple TVAs? Is there variants?
I don't think so.
Okay, okay. I just want to make sure.
I think that would make things a bit too confusing.
That's fair. Yeah, things are pretty tamed in the show, like with time and like I didn't find myself being like, what? I was pretty on board with
Yeah,
everything for the most part.
they did a pretty good job of keeping it together. Um, man.
Oh, man, I just
Dude, when she was like, so, like, what are you so afraid of? And it was just that painful long pause. He just said, me. Like that was just like, all right, I'm excited for what this evil fucking gang is gonna
I,
be.
see, that's the thing is I also like when he's like when Loki's like our Loki's like so he's like, why would you give up that power? He's like, dude, like I'm just tired. Like it was like the most late like I'm just tired doing this, man. I've been living millions and millions of years like this. This ain't it. I'm just like someone else can take it. I was just like, man, I feel that. I can see that being like, what do I do now? I've been trying to keep these timelines from just fucking up everything.
Right. Oh
But
man. There's just so many great moments for this where they just like let the camera hold on the actors without any dialogue and just let the emotions speak for themselves. And I thought that was so great. Like I love the passing the threshold bit where it just zoomed in and you could see they just let Jonathan Majors just go for it, and then it's like panned back out. Oh man,
he's like, that feel good.
yeah, it
Feels
reminds
good
me
to be
of
honest.
something else that we might see at some point. Um, God, can you imagine like casual Marvel fans from this point forward trying to like watch a thing here, watch a movie there?
Yeah.
It's gonna
Friend
be.
is very casual. He's like, I'm so glad you're keeping up with this shit. I'm like, hey man, I'm
I'm kind of
invested.
happy about it, dude. Like I'm like
Same.
it makes it more exciting when they're not like constraining themselves trying to keep it digestible for people who aren't like caught up and shit.
Mhm.
That's kind of what made Infinity War and Endgame so great. It was that they didn't really like dumb it down for the people who aren't caught up. They're just like,
Mhm.
look, you're expected to have pretty much seen everything going into this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, oh man,
I wanted to talk about Loki.
yeah, the
Yeah, I
character.
know we're talking about Loki. Not the character. Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
character, and in the sense of like we know that he's like deceptive. Is that a word?
yeah,
Right.
deceptive.
Yeah, we know he's deceptive,
Mm-hmm.
and but every time we see Loki, we always see the side of him that's like very redeemable. The version of him that's like, all right, well, he's always gonna somehow do the quote unquote right thing in a
Right,
way, you know what I mean?
right.
So it's like in the end, we already know our Loki's gonna be like, yo, this isn't right, you know what I mean? But we don't know
Mm-hmm.
Sylvie, we don't know that Loki. So it's I don't know, I just thought that fight was very believable in a sense because Sylvie is different, even though
Yeah.
she is Loki. You know, I don't know. It was
Well,
like weird, but also I understood the fact of yeah, well, I can't be trusted, nor can I trust you, type of thing. Like
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like,
Well, that's something that I love. That I've been thinking about this all week, by the way, about what I'm gonna say here. But like, it's. I think the writing is so brilliant in that so many times throughout these 6 episodes they brought up the idea of like what a Loki is, what a
mhm,
Loki's expected to do, right? Like Mobius is like, you're a Loki, you lie, you're a coward, you lose. Loki's the god of losing, Loki's the god of deception and lies. And I
mhm,
think what a big thing in this show, the big thing the show's trying to do is kind of break down that idea
mhm,
and say like these are two people here who are the same person from two different timelines, but like they couldn't be more different. And honestly, that because people have been saying for just weeks now, like they can't get these two together. They're like, that'd be disgusting. They're the same person.
not really.
They're biologically identical. And I'm like, one of those Lokis is a fucking alligator. Like, chill the fuck out.
Are we talking about biological? It's a
Like,
woman also.
yeah, like, yeah. I mean, it's a difference of a fucking X chromosome and a Y chromosome, but like, I don't know. I think it's this idea that like these people can be wildly different. Like one of them's a black guy, one of them's a fucking alligator, one of them's a woman. Like there's so many different kinds of Lokis,
So
and yeah.
President Loki is also like Kanan the Conqueror, just on a very smaller level.
Oh yeah.
Also, Lokis can't trust each other, so this Kanan must be like 10 times scarier than just President Loki, right? Because he can just ban. Wait, how does that work? Because he was banning, he was banding together with the other ones and then murdering timelines, or was he just kind of like one guy
I
taking
think
over?
I think it was just a bunch of them fucking fighting each other through different
Oh,
timelines.
timelines. Oh, okay, okay. I can yeah, because it's like an all-out war. Okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
was a
gotcha,
multiverse
gotcha.
war.
That's
Um,
scary. Like, what does that mean? What
yeah.
does that look like?
But yeah, I just think that's something that I think people are missing about this, especially when they're criticizing the relationship between Loki and Sylvie, is that the entire show is trying to point you towards like, how different everything is in a different timeline. Um to the point where here in this final episode they're still doing it, where they're showing that this is both a Loki, but they are on completely different sides to the point where they're literally like fighting each other over it. So yeah, that's
Also,
something that
Loki
yeah,
loses again.
I guess
So
yeah.
it
Um,
kind of falls back into his character. I mean, you can look at it more ways than one, but
you hate to see it. Um, yeah, man.
I thought like piggybacking off of you, I thought that like the fact that they wanted to show that all these different Lokis are different. Oh, well, I thought they did it really well. I'm just like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Like, I'm definitely on board with the fact that these are all basically their own people. They are their own people. They're not just one person. But I guess that's also why they call variants because they're variations,
Yeah,
and a variation is not the same
a
thing. It's just
difference. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So
well, I mean, that's the thing is that they're showing all these different Lokis, and I think the thing I'm thinking is that most people are seeing it as just like kind of a gimmick, like just kind of like a joke. But I'm like, there is meaning behind it. You're supposed to look at it and see the differences, rather than it just being like a funny, like, oh, one of them's an alligator. Isn't that so ridiculous? I
that's old Marvel.
I guess.
I'm joking.
No, I'm sure you are. Um,
They got Thanos copter.
we got the
Like,
fucking Thanos copter. um, yeah, man, I'm so interested in what they're doing with the
yeah,
future,
yeah, I'm even more excited for like the multiverse of madness because
dude.
like
Oh my god.
this like confirms that.
Yeah, that's
Like,
yeah. I thought WandaVision was gonna be the start of that, but no. And here's the thing, dude. Fucking like, can you? Isn't it so exciting how much shit they've set up so far in this phase? We have fucking White Vision flying around. We have Wanda studying the fucking Darkhold. We have what's her face? We have Monica with her new powers, like her Spectrum powers. We have Bucky as Sam as Captain America, right? We have fucking Zemo still out there. And now we have the fucking multiverse of madness going on. Dude,
and we don't know where your girl went. Like,
Sylvie, yeah, we don't know what she's up
well,
to.
no.
Who?
The understudy of Kanan. I don't know why I call it understudy. The
Ravonna.
princess
Ravonna,
Ravonna. Thank
yeah.
you. I need to remember that.
Well, I imagine she's gonna like her and Kang are gonna become like partners, I would imagine, like love
Yeah.
interests, and that'll give like it like if we have kind of the thing is I'm wondering if we're gonna have just multiple different Kangs that are all just like really big bads, or if we're gonna have like one that kind of stands above the others. And I imagine if they do that, that's the one that's gonna like have a storyline with Ravonna, and that's gonna give him kind of like an emotional core, so we can have a more
Mm,
interesting villain. I would
mm.
imagine. Um,
I'm hyped.
I'm so hyped,
Mm.
dude. I've been just.
'Cause it
There,
seems like sorry, go ahead, go
no,
ahead,
no,
go.
go. I want you. No, what?
It just seems like this this phase can just go or phases to come can just go in so many different
Yeah,
directions and so much cool outlandish shit that
yeah,
still feels grounded in a sense of like you still understand what's going on. It's not completely like absurd, right?
yeah.
It just feels like comic book movies done well, really well. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
yeah,
Saying like,
exactly. I mean, it all comes from like like the characters are grounded. Like the characters all have some semblance of like relatability, or
mm,
they don't feel like caricatures. Like
yeah,
I think they've done a great job in giving uh all the characters a lot of depth, which helps ground the stories themselves, even if they are just ridiculous, outlandish premises.
yeah.
And that's what they did here with like Loki and Mobius and Sylvie. They're all like, you can really feel for what they're going through, and you can get their
Mm-hmm.
motivations based on what we know about them, and that's exactly what you need for these kinds of stories. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for Kang to be the new Thanos, kind of. Uh, Maybe. It seems like that's the way they're going, but ooh.
So that's like I feel like I mean I guess it depends on how they write him. I just feel like he's gonna be like this really ruthless. Like
Oh yeah.
Thanos is like ruthless, but it's almost like he had like a all right, like a dad kind of thing. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to spank you, but if I got you, I'll spank you. Whereas Kane is like fuck you, like I'm gonna kill your mom. Like I feel
Yeah.
like so we'll see, man. I don't know how they're gonna write it, but we'll definitely fucking see.
Yeah. It's just like if you're comparing power levels, like that's the thing. Whenever they were talking about like you know Thanos is gonna be done in Endgame and that'll be it, and I'm like, man, what do they do from here? They did the Infinity War, like half of life in the universe is gone. It's like, well, they can still step up. We still got shit like Kang coming. Um, so yeah, that's just gonna be crazy. I don't have any predictions for season 2 because I don't know when it's
I
coming
mean,
out.
yeah, they could be like right after. They could be after like two like phase movies. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, um,
no idea.
it might be after Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can't imagine it's coming out like anytime soon because they only just announced it. I can't believe they announced it here. Like the fact that that hasn't like been announced before is cool. And I'm so oh my god, dude. I had like all right, I knew like I just it had to be Kang. Like after like episode 5 where they showed like at the end they showed like the castle at the edge of time. And I'm like, all right, come on, like who, like it's either Kang or it's gonna be another Marvel Blue Ball, and I'm gonna be fucking pissed, right? But the
It's
fact that
Cable.
the fact that they like, oh, if it was Cable, wow, the fact that they like didn't let any shit leak. I have not heard a single leak talking about Jonathan Majors being in this. And I'm so happy about that. I hope they keep that fucking streak up. Because, man.
Yeah, I didn't know. It's funny because as soon as I saw his face, I giggled because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they announced he was gonna be in. I wasn't expecting it this soon. I thought it was gonna be like, I really thought he was gonna be like a lackey character, but I
Mm.
really thought he came. But I thought he was gonna be like a one-off villain or maybe like a side villain that isn't really that important.
Well, when they
But
announced him as the villain for Quantumania, I was like, really? They're using him as just like, a one off Ant Man villain? That seems odd. But I'm so happy I was wrong about that. I'm just wondering if they're going to do something similar with Gore the God Butcher, because he's like one of my favorite characters, and he's going to be supposedly the villain in the next Thor movie.
mm,
Um, but it's more understandable that Kang would be the one who's like, we're gonna really make him a big deal in this phase here. Um,
I
man,
guess from here on out, I'll refer to any king as king, but this guy right here, and this one would be the man could not king, who could not king. Would be what was it? What I call him? The man at the end of
the
time. Um,
the
the
uh, it,
shit. Let me go back real quick.
yeah, I
Uh,
had it here. I actually wrote it down, but I have so much fucking shit. Um,
it's erased then. Uh,
uh, fuck. What did they say? Um, gonna make it about
man, what do they call them? My dude, the man.
is in the credits.
It is. There you go. He who
He Who
remains.
Remains. That's it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like the last Kang left after everything.
He's really
Um.
scary. That's really scary.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how the fuck did he like manage to like beat all the other ones?
Why this one?
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, he has to be just like the most fucking powerful one. What did the?
Why did he choose to be good? He's like every version of me
That's,
is.
I don't know. That just leads more credence to me that he isn't. Like, yeah, this whole multiverse war was going on, but then he figured he could like make something out of it to the point where he would just, I don't know. It's so it could go either way with it. I wanna where were they doing the character things? The actors. Special guest star. Okay. Um
What did
no, I think I had looked away at that part, and when I looked back, I just saw Jonathan Majors. I'm like, oh, do they do anything else there, like as something or other? Um, yeah, man, yeah, I'm fucking hyped. I'm so happy about that. I was, if they didn't do that, I was gonna be so mad because I was like, Marvel, I'm getting real tired of your shit. So I'm finally glad they didn't go for any kind of like, like everyone's gonna think it's this, but really it's gonna be this. It's like,
Yeah,
oh man,
man, this even this surrounds the Quicksilver thing just because we're doing multiverses now, and I'm like, this pisses me off because I really was hoping this Quicksilver game.
maybe we'll get it.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get it.
because now we have the. I mean, is the whole Deadpool thing too? And like, I'm like, is that gonna be because of the multiverse, or is it
Maybe.
just
I
gonna
mean,
be
that
its
could be
own
like a pretty
thing?
easy way to kind of give a throwaway explanation to it. I wouldn't be surprised if they just started the movie and Deadpool just makes a fucking like dumb joke about it. Like, yeah, you could just chalk all this up to the multiverse garbage. Like, whatever the fuck you would say. Um, man, yeah, and he was talking about how he had like conquered Goliath and used that as like his weapon. And I think they had something similar to that in the comics. Like they were kind of enemies, and they basically just like respected each other's like territory over time and shit. Something like that. Um, the last thing I have to
And
talk
he
about, yeah,
said part two, where he's like, "I conquered." Like it was like it's really like different from the way he was holding himself prior to that.
yeah, you can see the conqueror come back into his eyes. Um, and he was like, I've been called many things, the one conqueror, and I'm like, yeah, he said it.
So you
Um,
came to kill the devil.
goddamn.
Sorry,
Uh,
continue.
the last thing I just wanted to talk about, just as the season as a whole, was the music, and we've already
Oh
just
fuck yeah,
gushed about that, but holy
yeah,
fuck, the music was so good. Uh,
heck yeah, dude.
it really. There was a video I watched talking about Marvel music and how kind of like it's really disappointing that they like that so late they've decided to kind of really go hard into giving characters certain leitmotifs and themes and stuff when if they had been doing that from the beginning, like give Iron Man his own like theme that they stick
Hmm.
with through all the movies and do that for like every character, it would be
Hmm.
real, especially in something like Endgame where everyone shows up through the portals and you could have like big medleys of all their different themes coming together. But if
Hmm.
they start doing that going forward on the level of stuff like this, where every time we see Loki, like if Loki just makes like some crazy appearance in something we're not expecting him in, and before you even see him, you hear dun 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 dun, and we're like, oh shit, that would be so awesome.
Boom, boom, boom.
Or could you imagine if they used that as like kind of Kang's theme? Because that sounds like a really cool like conquering theme.
To be fair, yeah, because that plays it at the end, doesn't it? The
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
would
what
be.
if that's like Kang's theme? Like we thought it was Loki's the whole time, but Kono Kang died, you know? Holy shit. um did you find him in your book?
Yeah, yeah. He's on. That's on the back. That's on the very back of the book,
Yeah,
like
I'll
the cover.
I'll put this on screen here.
You think they're gonna you think they're gonna play a suit into incorporation at some point? Like they have
Maybe.
to, right?
Well,
Like
yeah, it could just be like a variant has that kind of suit.
yeah.
They
I
did
kind
give
of
him like
want
the
it to be like
purple robe.
one
Yeah,
suit.
sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, the purple rope. Yeah, I was gonna say I want it to be like the King, the Conqueror, like the one that like I guess the Avengers have to fight at the end.
Mhm.
I want him to be the one that like puts on Don the suit,
Yeah.
but like I'm okay with a very. I just want to see the suit and see what they do with it.
I like how this says he has a waste disposal system in
Yeah.
his suit. Um,
That
yeah.
begs the question: are we gonna get Iron Lad?
They could maybe do that with like Riri Williams and Ironheart. Maybe
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
kind of different, but they could maybe fold that in some way.
Because Iron Lad was Nathaniel Richards, so are we
Yeah, but
gonna?
that was but we're talking about like alternate timeline,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
um, and I did like how he mentioned that like I was a scientist, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's what he was. So we're one step closer to getting the Fantastic Four. um, People are gonna be so pissed that Loki has a closer connection to the Fantastic Four than WandaVision. um, Dude, what if like the start of Multiverse of Madness is like the end of this show, but from Doctor Strange's perspective? Like we get to see him reacting to just like the
Mm.
multiverse cracking apart.
He's like, what is happening?
Yeah, that could be kind of cool. Um, what? He doesn't have the time stone anymore. That's interesting.
Who?
Doctor Strange, he doesn't have the time stone anymore, so it's gonna be harder for him to
Oh
deal with this
yeah.
kind of shit.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wait, wait, where are the stones?
Thanos destroyed them all. He
Okay, I was
used
gonna
the
say, just,
stones to destroy the stones.
and then they put them back in their rightful places.
Well,
That's what
yeah,
happened, right?
well, no, they got the alternate stones from the different timeline. Like they did the
Yeah, that's
time
what I'm
heist, and
saying.
then they put those back where they came from,
Yeah,
or so
okay.
help me.
Shut
Um,
the.
uh, Man, yeah, I'm wondering like if Kang is gonna be like a big villain in Ant-Man. That might just be like a version of Kang. We're not gonna get him everywhere, but that'll be like a version that Ant-Man defeats, and from there he learns about like we'll call him like Kang Prime, like the big bad one, and that's gonna be like a Phase 5 kind of thing. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that could be kind of cool. Like that's the big target of Phase 5. Um, but man, oh man, oh man, this was exciting. I've been just waiting for this for so long, and it didn't disappoint. Uh, Great show. What a good show. What a fantastic show. Am I right?
Yeah, it was.
You could say
I,
I'm wrong.
you're wrong.
All
Uh,
right.
Man, like that ending is one of my like favorite endings. I think
Yeah.
good endings for a lot of Marvel movies. Like Civil
Mm-hmm.
War is pretty good. Obviously Infinity War Endgame is pretty good. Like, and this is up there. That was very close. Once again, it's like the villain wins.
Yeah. I mean,
All
if
these
it.
things, the villain wins except for Endgame. But like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it. I also like it because it's like it can now lead to a lot of speculation because it's not like something clear cut. It's something that people can like theorize about now.
Hmm.
Um, I'm happy about that. Uh,
Where the fuck does Blade come into all of this?
oh my god, dude! I can't wait. I
They
just
got
like
Moon Knight.
more. Moon Knight's gonna be a thing,
I
yeah.
don't even know. I don't even know a shit about that character.
I don't know much about Moon Knight either. Like, what are the Eternals gonna be doing with all this? Are they gonna be even related in any way? Um, yeah, I have no idea. But I'm super excited. Like, I don't care what you give me, just give me more. If we could get a Marvel thing every month for the next 20 years, I'd be happy. Because right now
Freaking
it seems like we're getting like something every month for fucking a good while. I think someone actually posted an updated release schedule. Hang on.
you also have
Uh,
this shit with Shang-Chi.
um,
Like, what does that have to do with
yeah,
anything?
I mean, I'm
Like,
pretty sure that's gonna be mainly the Mandarin. Um,
How does that work?
What do you mean?
Like, because they already used the Mandarin,
Well, that
so
was
is
the
it?
fake Mandarin.
Yeah, but is it gonna like allude to like? Are they gonna make some type of joke about it, or are they
I
gonna
don't know,
say
maybe.
my name was used somewhere, so it's
Well,
disrespectful?
that's what they did with the little one shot they did, where like they they kidnapped Ben Kingsley from prison and said like I work for the guy whose name you used and he wants it back.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I don't think it was actually anything like really important here, but yeah, basically we're getting fucking uh we're getting What If next month, then Shang-Chi the month after that, and then Eternals the month after that, and then No Way Home the month after that. And we're also getting Miss Marvel and Hawkeye somewhere around in that area too. Dude.
So the what if scenarios are actually yes, these all happened
Yeah.
in
There's
these
an
multiverses.
It's a perfect time to release it actually, isn't it?
Yeah,
I didn't expect that timing to actually work out. Yeah, there was another What If trailer, but I haven't seen it, and I'm gonna stay in the
I
dark about
haven't
that.
watched any trailers, so I
hmm
wouldn't know.
Yeah, I only saw like the original like reveal thing they did at the stock meeting. Um, so I'm keeping away from that because again, I'm gonna watch all these anyway, so I want to just like have as much surprises as possible going in. Um,
Fuck, dude, that was great. That shit was great. I might go back and watch this shit again.
yeah, it's been pretty good. I I'm really happy we finally like got a show that doesn't have any like really big noticeable flaws.
Yeah,
Uh, that's made me happy. I can be a happy boy now at night.
it was definitely pretty consistent. If anything, I kind of wish it was longer, but that's like a personal thing. But
Yeah, I mean that just makes me happy that we're getting another season.
yeah, yeah, that's
If
true
it's the
too.
same people working on it, whew,
Yeah, that's true.
I can't
That's
wait to
very
see
true.
what they do.
Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Like, now we know that Loki is well. I mean, I guess there's me. Loki's alive, but there's like our Loki in
Yeah,
a sense is
yeah,
alive.
we have like the
So
closest thing to our Loki is back, and that means Tom Hiddleston gets more work, and I love Tom Hiddleston.
he's stuck in like a TVA like that's crazy. Like, he's stuck in
Yeah,
like a TVA like universe or
but
like
it's also like, is he gonna meet up with Thor? Is there gonna be some kind of reunion with that? That could allow Chris Hemsworth to get some of his acting chops on, you know, like that could be pretty
yeah.
good. Um,
I thought
ah,
you were dead.
I mourned you. It's like he gives the exact same speech he gave in Ragnarok. We mourned you, father and I.
Father's
Uh,
dead.
yeah, I'm so happy because I just man, I'm super excited because like just talked about that. It's like yeah, we get fucking we get Loki back, and I'm really happy about that. Because they could have just done a thing where like they don't let him leave this because it would cause too many problems. But then they're like, you know what? We're creating the fucking branching multiverse now, so it's like we don't really have to concern ourselves with like what we should and shouldn't do. We can just do whatever we want, really.
And then Spider-Man, we're gonna get those multiverses too. That is them doing whatever the fuck they want. They're gonna
Yep.
bring in
No
fucking
way
Sam
home.
Raimi's.
Bring him back, you fucking Toby Maguire. um.
Apparently, that was the thing that I heard that Andrew Garfield say he wasn't on for the Spider-Man movies, but
Yeah.
that can also just be fodder. So
I
I
mean,
don't.
yeah, like would you wouldn't say that. Like if he was asked, he would probably be contractually obligated to say no. But I'm not gonna like I'm keeping my expectations tempered for that. I'm not expecting it to be
Yeah,
like
but
Spider Verse
Matt
live
Murdock.
action. I fucking hope Matt Murdock's in it, but I won't be surprised if he isn't. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
be disappointed if he
I'm not
isn't.
gonna be disappointed either. I probably won't even be disappointed if the other Spider-Mans aren't in it either, right? Because just because I like the Spider-Man movies and I like
Yeah, like if they do
Tom
a
Holland.
even like I don't know if they don't. I think they kind of have to, but if they don't if they don't really lean deep into the whole multiverse thing, I won't be disappointed just because like I loved Far From Home so much.
Mhm.
So if they if they just keep doing what they're doing and make it good, I'd be happy. I think that's pretty much everything I have for this particular show. Oh, oh, actually, I do have to be a downer and talk about when I said that the show didn't have uh, a lot of glaring negatives. I have to rescind that statement.
There you go.
um, a lot of the fight scenes weren't good in this show. I think the one
Yeah.
in this
Okay.
episode was decent, but
Okay.
specifically the two that really stick out in my mind. One was Sylvie's first fight in the tent at the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah,
That
I
one was
remember that.
not that great. And then the
Yeah.
one that was really shaky was the the one in front of the timekeepers. That was not a great
Oh yeah,
shot fight.
that wasn't either.
Like I get what they're trying to do, like cut between the two Lokis. Like, look, they're the same. Like they're the same. They're Loki and they're both fighting. But it didn't end up. It didn't turn out well. That did not look good. But
Yeah, that's fair.
the fight in this one was pretty decent, and there've been a couple other fights that were decent in this show.
To be fair, I wasn't really here for the fights. I kind of I honestly thought they were gonna really throw hands like that. I thought it was gonna be like a lot of deception shit.
Yeah.
So,
And that's fair.
um,
Yeah, that's not what I came for.
yeah.
Also, like I really
agree.
I liked the long take they had on Lamentus where they're trying to get to the ship and then it blows up. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I I don't want to make it seem like I'm ignoring negatives.
I forgot about that, but maybe that's the negative part. I forgot about fight scenes. So just like it wasn't a focus, but like yeah, I agree. I think the coolest thing in this episode for the fight was she did like that double kick thing,
Yeah.
and Loki jumped over it. I thought that was cool because I was like, ooh, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, other than that, like nothing too. I'd rather go watch Black Widow's fight scenes,
Yeah.
who Cosmonaut said weren't good. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, you know. um So I think that's all I have. Let me just double check my list. Check. Check, and check. All right. Yep, we're good. You have any closing
No,
thoughts?
no closing thoughts.
Awesome.
I'm ready for the rest of the fucking Marvel shit.
Yep, I'm ready for What If coming up next, and we're definitely gonna do content on that because that could.
How much
be
time we have?
Huh?
For that? How much time we have? To
That is coming out August 11th.
Okay.
And that is a Wednesday, so it's going to be back to Wednesdays for us, which I like. I like having consistency. Yeah, I can't wait to do fucking content on that because that'll lead to a lot of great like discussions because we could just expand on the what ifs they talk about. Like, well, what about from this angle? How would this play out? I think that could be really cool. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and yep. I had a fleeting thought. Oh yeah, I also really liked the opening of this show. I thought it was really catchy and creative. But yeah, that's it now. So, yep.